Hey community, Ted Coniaris here from our Downers Grove location, and today we're talking about Luke 1 verse 34, which is really Mary's simple response to this unbelievable story that the angel Gabriel is starting to unfold before her eyes. And like a lot of verses in scripture, it's just a little phrase, little saying, but there's so much here that we could talk about. And really, this phrase has been the phrase that's been sticking with me since last Sunday when we talked about this verse, which is her question: how could this be? Right? How will this be? This is exactly like the kind of question we ask when we're faced with something hard, or when we might feel God's Spirit leading us to do something new or something difficult or something maybe just outside of our comfort zone. We often ask the same thing. We say, how will this be? But what I love about what happens with Mary and the angel here is that her question of how will this be, it's not the end of the conversation. She doesn't get stuck on this. She moves on. She moves forward and eventually gets to the point where she said, I am the Lord's servant, and moves forward into God's plan for her life. I think for many of us, when we're faced with a hard season or a hard ask or a sense that we're moving into something new, that question, that natural question, how will this be? It becomes the sort of the sticking point and sort of the end of the road or the end of the conversation. And what we end up doing is we just focus on that question of how will this be, instead of listening to the loving voice of our Father who says, come, follow me. And so really that's one thing I want you to be thinking about today as you reflect on these verses in the life of Mary. How can you get unstuck from that question of how will this be, and move forward into that sort of loving trust, saying, I am the Lord's servant, to the God who says to you, come and follow me. So think about that, reflect on that today. I know that's what I'm thinking about and reflecting on today. And I hope it's some of encouragement and challenge to you. And as always, we're here to help and support you in any way we can to help you say yes to Jesus and to move forward in the way that he's calling you to follow him.